To enjoy what this panel is going to be about. Have you guys heard who's here at the convention today? Well, I'm here, as you can see, my beautiful spines, and also one of my best friends.
That's me, Spike.
Spike.
Hey, everybody, we're shaking. I'm Spike. I know I look kind of weird. I'm wearing a dress and I look like a lady.
Oh, come now, that's not that weird. I mean, Twilight sometimes has me try on dresses when she's trying to film for Rare.
That's awesome, man. I don't know where you got my getup like that, but that's so cool. Has anybody seen Twilight or Rarity anywhere today?
Let's see Twilight here. Hi, Twilight. Is she your Twilight or is she my Twilight?
I think she's your Twilight, because let's see if you can fly. Okay, she's your Twilight then.
Yep.
Well, if you see my Twilight, maybe you could, tell her to come on by, because I need a flight tomorrow. Get back to the West Coast. That's where Ponyville is, of course, right? How are you guys doing? Are you having a good convention? Every time I come to these cons, I cannot believe your awesome costumes. Awesome costumes. And even the t-shirts and the colors, and it's just so fantastic. And I wish we started this a long, long time ago. But here we are into, well, the end of season 4, let's say, and hoping and looking forward to, yes, a season 5. I am so excited to be here in Tampa, Florida to see you guys. I've been here before on vacation a long time ago and loved it, and it's one of my favorite places because it's really nostalgic for me. When I was in university, I did those 22-hour car trips without stop with my friends from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and bleary-eyed got to Florida and then flopped on the beach for another day. It was fun. But it's great to be here and so nice that we have the opportunity, thanks to you guys, and of course the show, My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. Thank you, Lauren Faust. I wish Lauren could be here. I wish she could be with us at all of these conventions to see how much we've all grown, not only as a show, but as people, as bronies, as individuals. And I mean, never, ever, in my life at least, can I say that I've enjoyed seeing something like Friendship blossom internationally. And I think that we really have to hold on to those morals and values that My Little Pony Friendship is Magic is all about. Because it's really the most important thing I think that we have now in the world today is friendship and doing kind deeds to one another. So, hail to that.
All right, so you got that, guys, right? The word of the day is friendship.
And friendship is magic, apparently. Right?
Indeed.
So I was working out. I just want you guys to... is it getting better? Looking good, right? Pretty good? This one's a little bigger than this one, but... Because I was like... I know it's kind of weird. I'm in a lady's body right now, eh? So, can you tell I'm Canadian? Eh? I'm giving it away! Anyways, I'm here for you today because there's a lot of questions you guys have about the show, about probably my background, maybe about voice acting, how to get into voice acting, and all kinds of things. So my trusty assistant number 2, because I'm assistant number 1, and don't you forget it, Aloysius. Brandon is going to take your questions, and I will be happy to answer them. So, Brandon.
All right, so if you ponies have a question, raise your hooves up in the air. I'm going to run around and pick up you guys. Going to bounce between every area. Going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll figure it out. But hey, raise your hands up high so I can see them, and I'll go and get you guys' questions. I'll start with you, Chrysalis.
Because apparently you voiced Spike. I have no idea how I got that idea. But do you think of Spike as your original character?
Well, I'm the only pony, really. I'm a dragon, but I'm a pony. My only original character? No. The funny thing about voice actors is that all the characters that we do actually are original. If you think about it, right? So we don't take our characters or voices and necessarily build them on anything else. What happens is when we get an audition, we get a picture of the character, and we get a description of the character and a little bit of dialogue, and the actor has to come up with what they think the character sounds like. So that's what I did. So all of the characters, all of us actors do, whether it's a boy voice, or it's a girl, or it's an animal, or a fruit, or a drain pipe. I've done a drain pipe before. They're all really original. But Spike is a different version of one of the boy voices that I do, so in that case, he's quite original. And so is his personality. Yeah, so they're all really original. Next question.
And you, Mr. Spike?
Yeah, there's a lot of Spikes here. I love it, man.
Just wondering, we know how Rarity and Spike interact together, but if you could pick one character for Spike to have a love relationship with, who would it be?
Rarity? I better get out of my own Spike voice, because I know I'm not going to give up on Rarity here. I think a love interest. That's a tricky one, because he's still such a little boy, right? So that'd be kind of like a little infatuation. But I don't know, if it were supposed to be one of the ponies, maybe Fluttershy. Because she's so sweet, and she's shy, and she's gentle, and she's kind of like a little pony. To me, she almost feels younger than the other ponies in some ways, too. And Spike loves to be brave. He likes to be noble, right? He likes to take care of everybody, and he likes to feel like he's helping out. So maybe Fluttershy. That's a good question. There's so many background ponies now, too. I mean, you can pick your pony. Pony pick. That should be a new show, Pony Pick. Pick your pony. So maybe Fluttershy. Next question.
All right, I think you have a question there, Snips.
Hey, Snips, what's up? Where's Snips?
Yeah, I screwed that up.
What did they say to you when they wanted you to voice Spike?
They said, you got the job. Well, I mean, the way that it works is that we will audition for the characters, and then we all have agents, and so the agents will phone us and say that, well, you got the role of Spike or whatever other character is, and you guys are going to start on Monday at 9 o'clock or 2 o'clock. One episode of the show, of My Little Pony, is a 4-hour recording session. And so they will go either from 9 to 1 usually, or 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock for one episode of a cartoon show. And My Little Pony just happens to saddle in really nicely to the afternoon bracket. Yes. Because I live a little bit out of town, like not right in Vancouver, so I need to use, flying ponies all the time. What they said to me when I first came in to start doing the role of Spike was basically, you'll find that you always have to adjust your character based on from what you think, based on what they know about the character, what their clients want. So I thought Spike was way more of a baby, like a baby dragon. So I was doing him more like up here and stuff like that. I was kind of like, he's just a little baby and just like that. So he was kind of younger and I was trying to find it. And that's, yeah, no, that's kind of awesome. Hey, Twilight, no way, I'll make him totally younger, right? Stuff like that and everything. But, yeah. But he's like, no, we want him a little bit older. He's got to be a little bit more boy. So, okay, I'll go on down like that. No, he's still too young. Okay, I mean, bring down my hair, whatever. And then someone said to me, well, what happens when he gets to be a teenager? And I thought, please don't let him become a teenager. Of course, we'd have more of a chance of Rarity. But if he were a teenager, this is how you can age your voice as an actor. So I've taught this before in another workshop where people are asking me about voicing and how to get a boy voice and age them, or any voice, right? So those of you who might want to try this for fun at some point, and of course I'm a girl, so what I do is I start with breathing. So I go like this. Yeah. I'm down here, right? And then I put on, whoa, no way. That is so cool. Awesome. Right? And you just build it and build it and build it like that. So to answer your question, which is now very long, the answer, they basically had to adjust me to make him a little older than I thought, but I was thrilled to get the role, and as we all are thrilled to get any of the role. We just didn't know that My Little Pony was going to become a complete phenomenon, and here we are today. So it's great. Brandon, next question, someone?
Alright. Any pony over here? No, looks like I'm going to make my way around town to you.
Go, Spike, yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
I was just wondering, we know Spike's favorite gem is the fire ruby because he likes to eat it. What's your favorite type of gemstone?
My personally? Oh boy. Oh, I have so many of them, I really do. There's a stone called lapis lazuli. I like those. I just love quartz crystals. I mean the simple quartz crystal. Rose quartz, of course.
Fluttershy would love rose quartz crystals.
Wouldn't she? I don't have a favorite, but those are some of them. I love gemstones actually too. I mean, who doesn't like a fire ruby? Right? Yeah.
Did you say fire ruby? I'm so hungry. Do you guys got any gemstones anywhere? There's no mountains in this place. Just a lot of wet stuff. Kind of wet here. I need my wet naps or something.
Next question.
Raise your hand in high so I can see your questions. Alright. I'm gonna go bam, bam, bam.
I actually had 3 questions. Is it
That's cool.
All right, good. My first question is, what is your favorite exercise to do, like, if you need to get warmed up for, like, a voice session?
Well, my favorite voice exercise, it's funny because when we've done it for so many years, we get a little bit lazy in doing them regularly as an exercise because we talk so much. We're actually warmed up all the time. But if I were to, because I've taught for
For 20 years, actually. It's been a long time since I started.
there are so many things that you can do with an exercise, from articulation exercises. For example, 3 words, picklety, packlety, pocklety. If you say those 3 words from very slow to very fast, you'll find that the faster you get, the more the brain has to really latch onto it. So I'm going to let you guys do with me in a minute. I'm going to demonstrate, okay? So this is for articulation. So what that means is when we're doing voice exercises, if you practice these exercises, your subconscious mind eventually is just aware of being clear, that you have to pronounce when you're speaking. So, picklety, packlety, pocklety. 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 See what that does to the brain? Let's do it together again. So we'll go slow, and I want you guys to try your best to see if you can get all.
I can't do that.
It's an alien. Oh, E.T. go home. Oh.
Ready? Picklety, packlety, pocklety. 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 Picklety, packlety, pocklety.
My head's gonna blow up.
But eventually you do that, and then when you're a performer, you just subconsciously are aware that you need to be clear. So the 4 elements again of good voice acting that I always teach, and I said this in the last panel, is energy, clarity, making it visual. So I'm responsible for all the reactions. Like if I fall down a hill, if Spike falls down a hill, whoa, 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 ah, oh, oh, ah, oh, 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 man. Okay? You have to think of all of that physically. So these are some of the exercises, but that's a fun one to do. There's lots. I remember, speaking of which, with the voice levels, is I ended up developing quite a low bottom range one time when I auditioned to get a role as a very chubby troll. He was a miniature troll with a little pot belly, and his name was Tumbler. And it was a UK show, a British show, and it was there was no accent. But
Gee, Snapper, what does robbers do? Don't know. The robbers are kind of funny, but I don't know what's the matter with them. Are they as smart as me? Gee, Snapper, you're so smart.
and I'm like, whoa, that's kind of a bizarre thing. You want me to do that? You want me to do that? Yep, because he's this big. Okay. So I did it, and the next thing you know, now I have a warmed up bottom range. So when we get to choose or buttercream sundae at Littlest Pet Shop, you guys watch Littlest Pet Shop? There's a cuckoo bunny.
You're the scoosh-to-booshiest of all the scoosh-to-booshes.
So that's a higher range for me. And if I have to sing in that range, the next thing you know, I've warmed up my high range again because I've had to prepare it.
Just look around and you will see. Dum bum bum ba 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 bum 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 ba 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 ba.
So, or how about anime? Shampoo, Ranma 1/2? Anyone know?
Oh, Ranma. Mama takes shampoo to date. Oh, Ranma. Ranma takes shampoo to date. Oh, I do not like you, Moose. You can have a cunning.
So we do it all, but that's another thing. You just keep doing exercises and you keep performing. The audition is kind of like a workshop. Long answer. Brandon, sir? Next question, any pony?
That's another question, then we'll come back to you, all right? That's
Oh
you
yeah, you had
first.
3.
How did you break into voice acting? Like, what was your first role?
My first role was, that's a good question. Someone asked me that before. I played Bessie the chicken in a show called Kissy Fur. And she was a goose, not a chicken. And she minded this pond, and she was very, very fussy about who got to come into the pond. So she was like an old lady, but she was a goose. So there's a similar quality to that.
So, my name is Bessie, dear, and I don't let any ducks come into my pond. Only ducklings that I'll be looking after. But don't you dare come to my pond. Oh, how dare you. Oh, I'm ruffling my feathers.
And that was a voice match. So as I said before, it's not, ethical actors don't like to do that, but it is a job. Sometimes shows shift from one city to another and they recast it. So they have the samples of the actors from the first run and they recast it with other actors and then therefore they have the actual role. So we have to try to mimic that. That's not common or typical at all. Because for My Little Pony and all other shows, we create original characters for them based on pictures. But these ones we had to try to match. It's hard to match a voice because you can get the voice quality matched, but you can't get the personality matched that easy. So as an actor, you hear the sound and you can kind of get it, but then you have to really get into the essence of that character and say, well, what's their personality like? And that's where the challenge comes in for those. Yeah.
Yes?
Your favorite episode of My Little Pony?
Oh, that's too hard. Oh, there's too many. Well,
What's like that?
well, with Spike, I have, again, a few of those. My favorite, because it was the first one that he bit into a little bit, was All's Well That Ends Well. Because I love Owlicious. And it was just so classic, the who business, right? But, you know, he really believed it. He's like, me, #1 assistant, Spike, remember? And he's like, ugh, you know? It was so cute. But I mean, you know, when he was just so crazy in love with Rarity, and the two of them are falling from the sky, and he's confessing his love for her. I mean, you know, that moment, and of course, his poor Spike when he just was having such a hard time with that anthem, the Cloudsdale anthem. Oh man, I thought to myself, what are they doing to me now? What next? But it was fun. It was really good to do. I love for an actor, it's fun because you get to be challenged with these things, right? So you get to dig your teeth into a situation. Next question.
My
Number 2.
second question was, I'm sure you get a lot of questions about voice acting, so I want to ask a question that didn't have to do with voice acting. So what's your favorite hobby?
My favorite hobby? Oh, wow. Well, no, not voice acting. Voice acting is my job. My job. That's my job. My favorite hobby? Well, I have more than one. I used to love photography, and if you follow me on Twitter, you see that I'm a nature baby. So I love to take nature photos, and I just love the whole thing, or whatever. I just love that. But I also I used to compose music. My background is music, so I have a bachelor of music and a minor in sociology, of all things. And so composing music was really special for me too. So I still enjoy when I have time poking around with music. Yeah, so I would say those two. And apparently, well, and a pretty darn good ping pong player. Don't just challenge you, any pony there who's a good ping pong player. I'm challenging you now, right? Maybe one of the conventions will pick up on that. And we'll have a charity ping pong thing, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah. Next question.
All right, we'll take your last question, then go move all the way to the other side back over there, so you can get your question, Twilight. You're the next one I saw. All right, one more. All right, what is your question?
My last question was, well, I got here kind of late, and I missed your signing, and I was wondering, you don't feel obligated to do so, but would you be willing to sign this truly terrible book that I have?
Yeah, well, maybe after, but not right now, but after maybe, okay? I'll recognize you with those ears. You're pretty easy to spot.
I'll come find you. Okay, next please. Here comes Brenda.
Go, man, go, 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 go!
And you, Twilight, what's your question?
In your personal opinion, how has growing up around only ponies affected Spike?
Because Spike, I think because Spike is still such a little boy and he's so committed to the code of the dragon, his focus is probably more doing the best job that he can rather than who he is. Except for that one Dragon Quest show where he was trying to find his own identity, etc. I mean, I think he just feels so comfortable with the ponies because they've been his family, so they're his adopted family. So I don't know if he thinks of himself as either. I just think he's committed to the nobility factor. Like he's more committed to being a certain kind of dragon than anything. And I think that he's adopted the ponies as his family. You know, so yeah, I don't think at this stage he thinks necessarily more about it, except for Rarity, of course.
All right, can we go ahead and get to you, then I'll get you too. I'm gonna come around the other way.
You move pretty quickly, man. I'm telling you.
And what's your question?
I'm short, man. You can run.
How do you see, like, Spike's future?
His future?
Yeah, like, what do you think about that?
That's a good question. I try not to think about it because I don't want him to grow up. Again, I think, in my opinion, if he follows his route of nobility and loyalty, I would hope that he would be maybe traveling with the ponies more. And as he grows up, because he's the only boy and he has this bravery and nobility, I don't know, maybe he's going to start competing with Rainbow Dash or something. But, or even Applejack. But I think maybe it would be nice for him to travel with them more and sort of be the hero. A little bit more than maybe he has. But in some ways he's the hero too because he's so honest that his answers really are the ones that are the true answers in the end. So I love when a show plays on that and next thing you know Spike said he was right or Spike solved the problem. That's fun for me because he's just so pure. Yeah, so I think he'll continue with the nobility and bravery.
All right, ready for the next question?
Next question.
How was it like being Coco Pommel?
Oh, it's wonderful being Coco Pommel. I just wish I could do a little bit more work outside of Manhattan. Maybe come to Ponyville for a while. It's great to do Coco.
I was really surprised that Coco came out and was so popular. I wasn't because she's such a sweet character. So I'm really glad that they wrote her that way. But I think the other thing was that they put her up against Tabitha's amazing job of Surrey, who was just so something else. What would you say about Surrey, every pony? Oh, I don't know what to say about her, but she acted her really beautifully, so it's a really nice contrast for good old Coco. And I mean, haven't we all related to those kind of scenarios in the past? She's a sweetie. I'm happy to have performed her. We may see more of Coco, by the way. We just might.
Yes, spoilers.
I'm allowed to spoil once in a while.
Do you have a question for Rainbow Dash?
Yes. Was it like when they were starting to cast Friendship is Magic, did they specifically look for people who had voiced characters in G3, or was that just a coincidence?
In which?
In the third generation of Magic?
In the third generation, not this generation?
When they were like casting Friendship is Magic, did they specifically ask for people who had voiced in the previous generation?
Oh,
or...
I see. No, not specifically. I mean, in Canada and in America, in all the main centers and well, wherever there's casting that happens for a big show, they don't necessarily think of that. What they do want for a show that's probably as big as My Little Pony is they hope that some of the cast can sing. Now, you don't have to be a good singer to do really well as a voice actor at all. It's an extra thing. It's whatever. So, but they will make sure that the main ponies. Well, in this case, it doesn't matter so much because, you know, Tara's not singing her role, for example. What they'll do is get as large a casting call as they can, and they will look for the best actors that they know based on their audio demos and what the clients have heard. They will bring in those from the different agencies in Canada and the States. They will ask the agents to submit auditions for certain people that they know are very good actors, and they will also ask the agents to make their own suggestions. So you see, the regulars always come in because they know they can do the job, so it's a sure thing for the city. You know, we've got a sure thing there, they're good actors. But the agents also say, hey, you got to try this person, or you got to try that person. They're really good too, and they're newer than this. So there's a combination. But the tried and true actors always usually come back because they know they can do the job. And then it's just which shade of green do we like the best? Yeah.
Do you ever see Spike getting a song after well, now that the Equestria Games anthem that was a thing, do you see him taking the lead on another song that's maybe a little more flattering?
A little flattering, did you say? I sure hope so. I sure hope so. There's always a moose or two that comes in the room at certain times. But I personally, I hope that he gets a chance to sing more. I can't say, because to be quite honest with you, we don't know what's coming. We get the script a couple of days before we actually record, at least with this show. Sometimes it's a bit more, and so we never know. There's no spoilers for us, except for what we're allowed to tell you, and so I can tell you we may see Coco again. That's all I can say. I hope so. Yeah, I'd love that.
All right, and your question, sir? If you could write the ultimate Spike episode, what would it be?
The ultimate Spike episode. Oh man, that would be probably a 3-hour show. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. What I would probably like to do is see him in his own adventure. It'd be kind of fun to, I don't really know that answer because there's so many angles that I could play with. There's so many things I could say. Because there's so many aspects to Spike that I would love to see develop more, right? It'd be kind of fun for Spike to get into some kind of predicament where the ponies have to save him. You know, like he's I don't know, he's off somewhere, something happens to him, he's taken away, and they have to go save him. And maybe he's oblivious to that, I don't know. But I also personally would love to see, and I've said this before, not that it will ever happen, but I would love to see a show with him and Fluttershy because friends are sometimes even closer than family, and certainly as important as family, in my opinion, based on my own experience and others' experiences. And I think that the other ponies have sisters, don't they? Right? Rarity has a sister, Applejack has a sister. Fluttershy, we don't know if she does or doesn't, do we? Has any siblings? And Spike, we sure know, so far, doesn't have any siblings. So what if all the other ponies went on holidays at Christmas or something, or Ponyness or something, and Fluttershy and Spike had a little chance to hang out together? Maybe they would be a really nice brother-sister combo. I don't know, but I think there's a theme there that could bring out friendship that equals the gelling of some friends. Let's put it that way.
All right, next up.
Actually, on my question, you just touched on it slightly. What I was wondering is, since we're seeing so many episodes fleshing out the characters more, introducing us to their family members, their past, origins, things like that, do you think we'll see anything where we might see possibly Spike's family in the past and possibly see how he came to live among the ponies in the first place, how he started being under Celestia's care?
Well, I don't know the answer to that, but I really hope so personally too, because, you know, as the series go on and as the shows go on, I mean, what direction are things going to take? It's really hard for us to know because there's so many ways you could go. But I don't see why that couldn't be possible. I don't know the answer, but I don't see why that couldn't be possible. I think everybody's intrigued by that possibility, right? Because, hey, we're talking about, you know, the Cutie Mark Crusaders are related. Who knows? I personally would love to see some of those background things happen too, for sure.
Brandon, there you are, man.
I'm enjoying the audience. I'm enjoying the show.
You got wings or anything?
No?
Not yet, because you're moving quick. It's good.
Any other questions, sir?
Yeah, do Spike have any enemies?
Enemies. If he does, he's probably not aware of them.
I sure hope I don't.
I don't think so. I think, no, not that I'm aware of. I mean, who would he, well, Aloysius is pretty patient though, right? Don't you think? I wouldn't say that they'd be enemies. Pardon me?
What about those teenage dragons, dragonflies?
Well, maybe those other dragons, but you know, those dragons are, I mean, if we're going to go with that kind of, those personalities of those dragons, then, you know, they're just kind of that way. I don't know if it's really against Spike at all. He's a little guy, you know, so I don't think he has any right now, and hopefully he never does.
Pardon me, excuse me, thank you. Your question, sir?
What other voice actors do you admire or respect? Who do you think is among the top in your profession?
Well, I've always been and always will be a Mel Blanc fan, even though he's not with us. To me, he's sort of the epitome of where this all began. And back in those days, I mean, there were only a handful of actors doing it and doing so much of it. So, I mean, just because they had so much volume and they had a lot of pressure on them, it was so organic back then. We didn't have sound effects. We had, you know, they had to really work hard and do it all themselves. I still think of him as probably the one. But I have to say that all comedians, all voice actors, all voice performers, I mean, I have to tell you that I personally was really upset by Robin Williams passing. I think he was a genius and he had a huge heart, an amazing performer and an absolutely amazing innovator and improv person. That guy, they would animate to Robin Williams. Now that's an honor. To say, Robin, come over here, do your thing, we'll animate to you. That's talent. You could almost call it genius, and I'm sure it wasn't easy for him. But a tribute to Robin Williams.
Alright, let's see. I'm going to go you right here. I'm trying to think how I can get to you.
Jump over.
Jump over! Like a reindeer. I heard they have them in Canada. Is there a reindeer in Canada? Is anybody from Canada? Oh, come! One? One? Just one? Oh, I think I'm a foreigner. I'm scared here. You guys don't mind that I say hey once in a while, right? Just saying. Yeah, comedian Spike's best Spike, yeah. Okay.
Alright, we're ready for your question.
Would you be willing to sing for us in Spike's voice?
My little pony, my little pony, my little pony. I got muscles bigger than anyone else's pony, and I really like to bake gem cakes.
I don't know if you mentioned it here yesterday, but I sang the Grand Brony Gala national anthem. Did any of you hear that yesterday?
I did.
Okay, so most of you didn't, right? Right? You want me to sing it again? Yeah. It's funny because it's just Spike being freaked out, right? So,
Well, it's really great to be here in Tampa, Florida, but where are all the oranges? And it's such a rainy day, and I hope you like my song. at the grand galloping Brony con. And bronies are really cool, and this is going on too long. At the grand galloping Brony con. At the grand galloping Brony con. Oh yeah, bring it on. I mean, I feel like I did a really good job of singing.
Alrighty, I saw your hand up a little bit, but I'll have to come up to the front so I can see more of you guys' hands, because sometimes it's hard to see here. What is your question, sir?
What's your favorite instrument?
What a great question. But again, I have a few because I'm a musician. My instrument in university ended up being classical guitar. I love the sound of pure strings, the organic pure sound of strings. But in an orchestra, and I used to play in an orchestra in high school, I play 4 different instruments in my life. Viola, trumpet, piano, and guitar. And I had to in university because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I thought, what the heck, okay, I'll go into music and I'll get a minor in sociology, so then I can do something I like. Music is something meaningful, sociology, so I'll be a composer for film and TV documentary. So I had to choose an instrument to go into my field. And the one that I had the most formal schooling with was a viola. I didn't really want to play the viola, but I went in with that. And then I ended up having a muscle problem, and I had to switch instruments halfway through my first year of university. And I thought, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And they said, you know what, you're going to have to find an instrument, and you have to graduate with a grade 9 level. That's how the degree works. I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? So all my cohorts, all my colleagues were so good as vocalists and pianists. I thought I can't compete at that level with them. So I asked if it would be okay if I tried guitar. And I had only taught myself folk guitar. I play by ear. So I had a basic, and I thought, oh my gosh. Because if you think about it, when you're playing a viola like this, right? Look at the positioning of the fingers and the hands versus a classical guitar, which is like this. So now I have to change my entire positioning and get a grade 9 level within 3.5 years now. So I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? So they said, you're kidding us, right? You kind of strum a guitar and you want to graduate with a grade 9 classical level? Is that what you're saying to us? Really? I went, yeah. Can I try? So the Hungarian guitar professor, Tibor Puskás was his name, said, I will take you on. Let me try it. And I went to school. I had no choice but to crash course the performance aspect of my degree by going in the summertime for a few months, twice a week, to try to catch up. It was terrifying. And so I did. So I guess that's why classical guitar might be my favorite instrument. But in an orchestra, when I hear a beautiful, pure string orchestra, not synthesized, but pure strings, I love the French horn that comes up from nowhere. I love all instruments, actually. Solo piano. Next question.
Let me see here. Oh, wow. You guys are really light over there. Come on. You guys don't have questions, really? Well, I mean, it is me. I know the answers to all the questions.
Yeah, he's his own mind or something.
I'll go ahead and check out the super duper party pony.
Other than Spike, what's been your favorite role to voice?
Oh boy. Well, if you mean from a actor's perspective, from a meaningful thing, I would say the role of Cyber 6. If anyone's seen that show, because it's really dramatic, and it was really sort of a deep. It was about a woman who was part cyber and part human, and who struggled between being both and fighting with human emotions and trying to fight crime. It was really an interesting show. And for those who love Cyber 6, the DVD box set is coming out finally after how many years this month. But I do like to have characters that have strange sounds in my characters. I did one that was called Fidge Fidge. It looked like a Dairy Queen cone. I'm not kidding you. In a show called Marioku, which was so sweet for little tiny children. It was a My Little Pony essence. Feel good. It's online, I think, still, but I think they aired it online in the UK. I'm not exactly sure. But Fidge helped to make wishes go into children's dreams at night. So the wishes all lined up, and when it was time, and when the child was ready to have a dream and wishes were to come true, then they would leave that land and go into the land of the children. So Fidge was always nervous that it had to work out.
Oh, Marioku. Oh, no, Marioku. It's never going to work. We're doomed, Marioku. We're doomed. She's like, don't worry, Fidge. It'll work out. Don't be so scared. Oh, Marioku, you don't understand. Wishes are so delicate, Marioku.
Fidge, Dairy Queen cone upside down. I like the challenges.
I'll go ahead and check out Christmas, and then I'll hop over to you two. You in the blue, you in the black.
I have another question. Do you think Spike might replace Rainbow Dash in the future?
This is something new I've heard lately, that he's the new Rainbow Dash. It's curious to me what you guys really mean by that, but yeah, it's interesting. I don't think anyone's going to replace Rainbow Dash. I don't think. But hey, maybe Spike, dragons fly, right, eventually? Don't they all fly, dragons? Well, I guess not all of them do, but anyways, I would be disappointed if Rainbow Dash were replaced, frankly. But hey, he may have some of the qualities coming up. We'll see. Yeah.
Go, Spike, go.
My question is, did you audition separately for your other parts like Mayor or Coco, or did they just give those to you because they liked your voice already with Spike?
Well, with the larger roles, we auditioned for them all. So for the main six, for Spike, for Mayor Merritt, the original characters that started out, we have to audition for them. And everybody who the clients feel can do it gets thrown into the pool, and we all do our casting sessions. But there are many occasions where, when we get the script for the next episode, there are smaller roles, which they divvy out. Sometimes they just divvy it out, they just assign it to you. And sometimes you still have to audition for the guest role, depends how big it is. So it's a mixture. But us voice actors, we're auditioning most of the time. We're still working for our jobs. Can you imagine that? We still don't know when the next paycheck comes.
Yeah, are there really UFOs? They exist. I'm hearing weird stuff in here.
Next question.
In your opinion, do you think Twilight's new house is in danger having Spike live there?
Where are we? Oh, sorry, what?
In your opinion, do you think Twilight's new house is in danger of having Spike live there?
She's endangered by having...
No, the house. It's made of crystals.
The new castle is in danger having Spike there? Made of crystals. Oh, yeah. That guy would never starve. Would he? I wonder, that's a funny thing because I never even thought of that. Wow, you guys are sharp. You guys are sharp. That'd be a great episode, wouldn't it? You know when you kind of get peckish at night and you want the pizza or something? Just imagine getting up in the night going,
I think I'll just kind of nibble on the wall.
That would be so funny. I like that. Megan McCarthy. That's a good idea. Any more questions? We'd have to pour a glass of water. Hang on. Okay.
If you couldn't voice Spike, who would you want to voice on the show?
Well, I already am voicing Coco Pommel.
Well, I wouldn't want to take any other actors' roles because I'm just not like that. Although there are some competitors out there. But I do like Fluttershy. I don't have the quality that Andrea has. Andrea's born with this quality. There's a little bubble richness to her voice that she doesn't even have to do anything with. So,
Fluttershy talks like this, and she's got such a nice warm sound to it. But there's something that just makes Fluttershy Andrea.
So I like that sound. It's soft, it's sweet. So, I don't want to take anyone else's role, but I like that quality of voice a lot. And when I played a role in Stormhawks called Ray Vess, I don't know if anyone saw Stormhawks, But the evil characters I do enjoy playing as well. And sometimes I don't get as much of a chance to play those. And I don't know why, but I really do enjoy the evil characters at times too. Yeah, spooky. We like to do the stuff that we're not doing right now. And then when we do it, we like to do the other stuff again. So it's just like using the muscle. Any other questions?
You had your hand up. Do you not have a question?
You got a
anymore?
really
You can
cool
move on.
orange wig. I love
All right,
it.
what is your question,
That's
sir?
awesome.
Do you think a dragon's hoard is its food storage?
A dragon's what? Sorry?
Do you think a dragon's hoard?
Hoard?
Jewels and
Oh
gold?
yeah. Oh yes. Totally.
In fact, maybe Spike's got a little stash we don't even know about back there. Right? I mean, gemstones.
Yeah, they do, I would say so. I mean, that whole episode where he ran away from home because he didn't think Twilight loved him anymore. Then he found the dragon's den, and man, there were a ton of jewels in there. He was like,
Yeah, that was good. I could do maybe a fake book, but I don't know if I should.
it's not even real. So you can do sound effects like that. I used to be able to do a sprinkler at one point. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it anymore. But there's an actor I know who can do a garbage truck backing up. I know it's hard to even imagine what that would be like, but he can do a garbage truck backing up. You know, like, I can't do it. Oh yeah, my drain pipe. Drain pipe that has a consciousness and personality. So strange. Any more questions?
How was it when you met Weird Al whenever he came in to do the cheese sandwich episode?
Sorry, I can't hear you. I'm too close to the back of the thing. Say it again.
How was it when you met Cheese Sandwich? Weird Al Yankovic, whenever he came in to do the cheese sandwich episode?
The cheese sandwich episode. I don't even know if I remember that. I'm not sure. Huh?
Weird Al.
Weird Al. Oh, Weird Al. Oh, yes. Well, wasn't that fantastic that he was on the show? See, those were surprises to us too, last minute. See, we weren't even aware of that. Oh, it's a joy to do that. He was line linked, so he was, of course, in LA or wherever he was, and he came into our studio via the ethers, so we could talk to him, could communicate. But that was really fun. You never know these little surprises you're going to get. It was really fun to do. Yeah.
You got another question there, Brandon?
Actually, I'm just getting word that we're having trouble with some people who are trying to get in here for the costume contest, which have been moved forward to the Magnolia room, and so we're trying to figure out what's going on here.
What's that? Are we due?
They're asking us to possibly wrap it up because there are people lining up for the costume contest outside. Even though you have probably an hour and 15 minutes, but.
So we should wrap it up now. Is that what you're saying? One more question?
One or two more questions. It's probably best to wrap it up because I don't know why there's so many people out there.
Yeah. Oh, really?
It's scary. Yeah.
So one more? Is that
we
what
can do two more. So I'm going to get this guy because he's had his hand up for a while. And
you've got so much coming up, every pony.
And you and pony over there. All right. What is your question?
For the show, how long do you think it can go for?
Forever, I hope. That's a good question. I don't know, but I'm hoping for a chunk more. It would be so sad if it did not. This is a way of life now, isn't it? So let's hope for many more years. Last question?
Last question.
Mark.
Yeah.
Yes.
As you were one of the few actors that have been on both shows, what do you think is the probability of the Equestria Girls universe being the same one as is the Littlest Pet Shop universe?
The same universe.
Just the Equestria Girls movie.
Oh, that's a big question. Well, see, you're asking a person like me that kind of question, and that's the thing that fascinates me in my life is the unknown, right? So I could sit here and talk on that for like bore you to death, but I think really such an esoteric answer, but I think we really are all part of the same universe. They're just different floors, right? So there is I think there is a sameness to me with the quirkiness in a way, and the writing, and the quick pacedness of it is a similar universe to me. To me, all the animation series are part of the same universe. The fans are all part of the same universe, depending on what fandom you're a part of. You're still really all part of the same thing. So, as far as I'm concerned, I'm just really grateful to be, as an actor, dipping into these different universes. And I hope we will have more opportunity to do that in different shows, and also within our little land of Equestria. So thank you, every pony, for coming. It's great to talk to you guys again. Enjoy tonight. Maybe we'll see